The Locker Room, with all the sports news you need. Live.
Oh, and we're live. Okay. There we go. Maybe a technical hiccup there. Anyway, welcome to the locker room on this Sunday night. It's not your usual Sunday night where you watch the bingo and Sons of Praise and all that. I know it's Scotland, and no Scotland, no party as well. I'm surprised they haven't put on Braveheart today. I'm very surprised at that. Oh, freedom! Sorry. Anyway, we're here until 7 o'clock with the build up to the game. And I'm joined tonight by, as always, Graham Duffy. Hi, Graham.
All right, mate. What's happening?
All right. Regan Stevens, how are you, Regan?
Michael, I'm doing good. It's great to be back. It's great to be back on the show again. It was great to see you guys online. I'm glad to be alongside Robbie for the very first time. So it'll be good.
Yes, and also making the second appearance. He did well. In fact, I think he was a man of the match the other night. Actually, a close second to me, you would have to say. But I'm always man of the match. Robbie Collins, how are you, Robbie?
I'm doing good. Nervous for tonight, but excited.
You should never be nervous. You're speaking to Graham. We have got a contributor at 2 minutes past 6. Well, that must be a world record for the show. Duncan on YouTube, he was saying 3-1 to Scotland. Come on, Scotland. This is going to be a busy show, by the way. So we're on until 7 o'clock. Get your comments coming in. Get your predictions for the team, how they're going to line up, what's the score going to be, and when is Rotherham Champions going to come on? 89 minutes or 94 minutes as well. Graham wants to know that. So there we go. So, Regan, how are you feeling up until a couple of hours to go until the game?
I've known my dinner, but people would say I'm very hungry. But I'm looking forward to the game, Michael. I mean, Scotland tonight, I think there's no point being negative tonight because Steve Clarke is always negative of his planning of the matches. But I think tonight's a game where we just need to properly say, right, if we want to go through to this last 16, then we need to attack the match. So I'm feeling confident. I think he'll go for the same squad he picked the other night, the same starting 11. But I think overall, as I said to Adam, we shall see that in about 25 minutes. I said that I don't feel like this team has got any world class player. Probably the one maybe outstanding player is Sloboslai, but I wouldn't class him as a world class player. But yeah, I think overall, you look at the Germany game, the Switzerland game, I would say there's world class players in that one. But in terms of the Hungary, I think we're more evenly matched, I would say, guys. And I think that this is one that Scotland need to go and be adventurous.
Yeah, of course, the team news will come out about 7:15. We'll give you that one. And Reagan's been very busy the last couple of weeks. He's interviewed Agam Kennedy. So that will be out, as Regan was saying, 6:30 tonight as well. Robbie, when I was looking at this game last night, actually, it's very surprising that Scotland and Hungary's never met in a competitive game.
That is weird. That's mental. I actually thought they would have by now, but I think that just shows it is a really important game. You know, we don't exactly know what we're fully up against until the game starts. I think what Regan was saying there about the team selection, I'd agree with. I think Steve Clarke will pick the same team, obviously with the Tierney change because of injury. Again, I don't want to see Ralston start. I think I said that on Friday. But I think he will pick Ralston, and I believe there was also reports of Che Adams being low in fitness coming out today. So who knows? Maybe No, I think that's interesting, and I think it shows a bit of mystery. You know, we don't exactly know what we're going to be up against until the game sort of happens. So I'm excited.
Graham, your nerves going into the game?
I think it's a mixture of nerves, excitement, anticipation. I'm looking forward to this. We know what we've got to do. You know, there's no trying to hold on for a draw. We have to win the game. And I know we have to win every game, but tonight we actually do have to win it. So it's a massive game. The players, manager know what we've got to do. And I think I'll look for the positives from the game against Switzerland. We were far better, far more organised, apart from the mistake from Ralston. We were far more in their faces when we were against Germany. We've got to do the same thing tonight. We've got to go out and actually attack this game, as like Robbie and Reagan have said. We need to be on the front foot. Hungary are a good side. They beat England 4-0 at Molineux. They are a good side. But we've got good players in that team that I don't think John McGinn's turned up yet in this tournament. He's been very quiet. We need a performance from him tonight. Yes, there's always that doubt about does Ralston play. Personally, not for me, but I don't think Steve Clark will change it. I think McKenna will come in for Tina. That's about it. I would love to see us play two up front, but I know that he won't. He'll stick with the one up front. And to be honest, even if Che Adams is injured, Shanklin probably still won't start. He'll end up putting Scott McTominay up front just for a laugh. But it is a massive game tonight. We have to win it. And I think we're going to do it tonight. I've just had this feeling all day we're going to win 2-1. And I really hope I'm right. But I just think we're going to do it tonight.
Robbie, I can get you actually another start, right? And I would take this one, right? The last time Scotland played against Stuttgart, right, was against West Germany, and they beat them 3-1.
I'll take that tonight. We're both honest, to be honest. It is mental to hear when you hear about like the sort of older national teams like your West Germany and Yugoslavia and stuff. Like, obviously, you know, they're not there anymore, but it is mad to like go back and see these sort of games, like these older type of games that, you know, I don't know of the now, but you do sort of go back and see them and see highlights and stuff, so it's cool.
Couple of comments here. Anna Lino said, well, former, he's a St Mirren fan as well, Robbie. So you'll get on well with Anna Lino throughout the season. He says, good evening, boys. And then he says, I'm nervous for tonight. Don't be nervous because you're on with us. Everything will be okay, as they say. And Hasley Scumber says that even though the locker room's not on, but the Glasgow Warriors have won the URC championship last night in South Africa. Well done to the Warriors as well. And let's hope the football team wins tonight as well, Reagan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Glasgow Warriors did well, so hopefully Scotland can follow in their footsteps and do well, because it's always really good to see Scottish sport doing well. And this is probably a lot of the players' biggest match of the time so far. I mean, look at Steve Clark as a manager. This is probably Steve Clark's biggest match. I know Stephen Rayside, Michael was saying on Twitter yesterday. Oh, in fact, X, I don't want Elon Musk to put a copyright out against me. But
yeah, he watches the show.
Yeah, Stephen was saying that basically that if Scotland get a draw tonight, Michael, that it's still a possibility that we could qualify. So I don't know. Obviously, I do expect Spain and Portugal, and obviously Turkey to win those matches. But it would do my heart a little bit less if Scotland could manage to get the 3 points, because I don't know about you guys, but I mean, could you imagine that if it got down to Tuesday night and Turkey was playing Czech Republic, and you were just hoping that Turkey were beating Czech Republic? My heart would be all over the place on Tuesday.
Yeah, no, exactly. Robert, it's brilliant to see, isn't it? Because I mean, I mentioned this before the Germany game as well. That every shop you go into, I mean, I was in a few shops today, and everybody has got Scotland jerseys on, and every house that you go past, the salt tires out the window, and that's only my house. as well. But it's brilliant to see because, I mean, like for years gone by, as I said to Graham in previous shows, that you see World Cups and European Championships, and Scotland's never been at the party. But there you go. We've got two parties. Obviously, we went to the last Euros. Obviously, we didn't have to qualify. It was on our own back door. And okay, that was a bit, we were looking forward to it, but the party was spoiled basically by the two games at Hungary. But it's brilliant to see when you go out and about where people's actually get a smile on their faces speaking about the national team again.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good word. I mean, togetherness is the word I would use for it. I mean, usually in and around Glasgow, there's an obvious divide in fan bases. But, when it comes to national team in a major tournament, it's good to see the whole fans come together and really back the team. And I think it shows you, like, even over in Germany, you're seeing the hundreds of thousands of Scots over there backing the team. And I think that's what we need to do for the games. Get right behind the players, as I think Graham said on Friday. There has been a lot of criticism about Clark and some of the players, but we need to put that aside for tonight, get behind the team and try and get the 3 points.
I'm just going to ignore that comment, by the way, from James Elliott there. Never say never. I meant a chippy in the kebab shop, James. I call them shops as well, right? Not like Marks and Spencer's and Waitrose. Other shops are available, kind of thing. Anyway, let's focus now back in the game. I'm expecting a phone call from the police station and the campaign. Graham, I mean, it's just brilliant to see that everybody's supporting Scotland, and we kind of use this word a bit too often in football, kind of like inspiring the next generation. But that's what they're going to do tonight if they're going to win, because if they win, they'll be put in history.
Well, that's exactly it. This is what tonight is. It's a chance to create history. That's what that's what needs to happen tonight. And I think the squad can definitely do it. Take out the Germany game, which was an absolute disaster. The Switzerland game was much better, but tonight we've just got that one step further. 90 minutes, we know if we win, we're going to be through. And it's amazing. Young lads like my son will be watching it. He doesn't think we're going to go through, but he's getting banned from this. But, I mean, it's such a massive, massive game. And it will be massive. If we can get through this, it'll be huge. For all that Steve Clark gets a lot of stick, he could be the first manager to take us out of a group stage. These players, the first bunch of players to get us out of group stage, it would be incredible. These guys would go down in history, which I think they're more than capable of. But they just need that one big performance tonight. They need to turn up tonight. And I think they will. We've got to start the game well. I keep talking about that. We've got to start the game well. And what we cannot afford to do is make daft mistakes that we did on Wednesday. We can't afford to give the ball away like we did on Wednesday. So I'm excited, but it's just that 90 minutes. Just win the game and it's done, which would be incredible.
Sorry, I want to get your reaction to this comment coming in, Graham.
No, I don't agree. I think it's very harsh. Steve Clark has done a brilliant job. He's got us to 2 Euros. He could get us out the group. There's no chance he resigns if we lose tonight. If we get hammered, even then I still don't think he should resign. He's at a European tournament. What I don't want to happen tonight, if we get knocked out, what I don't want to have is regrets, to think, we could have done a bit better there. We need to go out there and give it evidence, and I think we will. But for me to say that Steve Clark could resign, no, I completely disagree with that. Completely disagree.
I think as well, I know you're entitled to your comments, guys, as well, but keep it upbeat, try not to be negative on the team. In fact, the team's not even in the stadium yet, and you want the manager sacked already. It's for goodness sake, Maybe speak about that after the game, but not before the game. Try and keep it positive, guys. We're on until 7 o'clock. I want to get your comment, Robbie, on this one, right? And it relates back to what Graham was saying about Rolling Shanklin in a way that Anna Luno makes a comment about 3 St Mirren Academy graduates and the Scotland squad, John McGinn, Kenan McLean, and Lewis Morgan. surely that's brilliant to see, Robbie, because sometimes in Scotland, especially the west of Scotland, we live in the kind of old firm Glasgow Derby, call it what you will, fishing bowl, and it's good to get out. It's good to kind of like break that cycle sometimes and look at the clubs with like not well finances. You would say, maybe you would take me to task there. I don't know, but what is it good to see that Morgan, McGinn, and McLean is in the Scotland squad?
It's brilliant to see. Obviously, Morgan's not yet to get any minutes in the Euros. I hope that maybe changes tonight at some point. I hope so anyway, because I don't really see the point of flying him out for the MLS if we do get knocked out, just to sit on the bench. But again, John McGinn is such a crucial part of Scotland, and you know that proud feeling you get whenever you see him walk out knowing that he did come from Scotland is amazing. And then obviously Shankland as well. He's another one that was from Scotland. You know, I hope he gets some minutes as well. I think Graham would wish upon minutes for Shankland tonight. But as well, McLean, I mean, that's another one, you know, he's not exactly the most crucial player anymore for Scotland, but it is always good seeing these type of players, especially when they've came from your team, getting their moments in the big games.
Yeah, just to not back and forth here by Haskell Scrum, but yeah, I mean, he did say that too. I think it was a German newspaper or magazine that he done an interview with before the Euros, but we're not even out the Euros yet. In fact, we're not even touching back home at Glasgow Airport. So yeah, I do know what you're saying. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I would maybe go say keep it upbeat, Graham, until maybe after the game.
Yeah, and like I say, it depends how we get beat. You know, if we get beat 3 or 4-0, we've not really turned up. I can kind of understand why you might think, do you know what, maybe now's the right time to go, but I don't think it is. I think he deserves far longer. You know, he is building something, as was mentioned in some of the comments there. I think he's done a great job, a fantastic job. To get Scotland to 2 Euros and 90 minutes away from potentially getting us at the group would be absolutely incredible. And I really hope we can do it. And I've said it before, I think we will. I think we're going to do it tonight. I don't know why. I was confident the last time I did this show and we didn't do that well. So, but I'm going to remain confident we're going to get through tonight. I just think we're going to do it tonight.
Yeah, no, exactly. We'll get your score predictions off you very soon, even though I think I know what Robbie's going to say early on, because what I was saying, Graham, to the guys, that the last time Scotland played against Stuttgart, we won 3-1 against West Germany. And okay, it was a friendly, but we'll take that tonight. Graham?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I thought you were asking Robbie. I would absolutely take a 3-1. The one thing I would say is I think we're going to have to score at least a couple tonight, because I do think we'll concede, because I think Hungary do have threats, which is why I want to see us play 2 up front. I want us to be a bit more adventurous, play a bit more attacking. We've not really seen enough of that yet. So I'd like to see us play 2 up front. I know that Clark won't change it. And the biggest thing, as was mentioned earlier, if, for example, we're, say, like 1-1 with 25 minutes to go, then you've got to start making changes. We didn't do that against Switzerland. It felt like we were accepting the draw, which, fine, I get it. But tonight we can't afford to do that. We've got to make changes early tonight. But if we win this game 3-1, I will be absolutely ecstatic. My prediction is 2-1, but I'll certainly take 3.
Robbie, Graham was saying about Scott, how we set out tonight, but obviously the game will pan out for 90 minutes, so it depends on a VR comes into it as well. But do you think Scotland will sit in? Do you think that they'll have a game plan, or do you think that they'll keep the game in stages?
I think Steve Clark will definitely have a game plan for the players. I don't think he can afford to sit in. We sat in against Germany and they just picked through our team and scored 5. So I don't think we can afford to sit in like that. But I also don't think Steve Clark will go to attacking, because if we go attacking, then we're just going to leave ourselves gaps, and that's when Hungary will pick us apart. So I think Clark needs to be careful. I think if he goes with the same team that we played against Switzerland, bar Tierney, I think we'll still do all right in both sets of the field. But I mean, if you look at that Switzerland game again, we keep saying it. If Ralston looks for that back pass, then we probably win the game 1-0. So I think we just need to be positive and keep the edge and actually go at Hungary for once and try and get a result.
Reagan, we're talking about Hungary here, but we're going to talk about Iron Blue as well. I don't know if you saw that Iron Blue advert for the Euros.
Yeah, I think that's the one with Sanjeev Kohli as well.
Sanjeev Kohli, yeah. Yeah, they did too.
Aye. No, I'm a big fan of Iron Blue, so if Iron Blue want to do any adverts to know how to get in contact with me. So,
yeah, and also looking for a sponsor for the show next season as well. I'm good seeing guys.
The Iron Blue locker room. Aye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, remember the Iron Blue shoes you used to get, Graham? I don't know if you remember them, but I don't know if you can still get them. By the way, if you find one...
I noticed that you came to me for that one.
Well, to be honest, Glenn, like we're the two oldies here next to the two young guys. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm losing my hair, and you're just supporting Hearts. You know, as well. You know, so yeah. So I mean, Reagan, you were on the show on Wednesday night when we played Switzerland, and obviously we don't want to go over old ground here. But what was your take on the game? I mean, I think me and Robbie felt as though Scotland got to play better when Kieran Tierney got injured. I know that's terrible. I know that's terrible for us to say. And by the way, that's not me and Robbie being negative, but that's how we just, like saw the game.
Yeah, I feel like Scott McKenna was really good when he came on. I feel like Switzerland are a good team, you know. If you'd have said to any Scotland fan, the way you go through is you either get a draw or a win against Hungary in the final game. I think most Scotland fans would have took that. You know what I mean? We're pretty well, even though we think we're the best country in the world. I think we're also very realistic of our expectations. You know, we know that we've got expectations that are probably high, and we know that we're not getting a world class player for every place in the team like Spain and stuff like that. But I think overall on Wednesday night, I think it was more positive than the Germany game. But what I want to see from us tonight, Michael, is I want to see us play on the ball. I want us to see us be composed. I want to see us attacking the opposition, and I want to see us. You know, I would rather lose 1-0 and be attacking the goal all the time, Michael, and trying to play football. See if we lose 1-0 and we sit back and defend the full game and we don't do much, I'll not be happy. But see if we attack the match, play football, and we come on there at 10 o'clock and we go. We played brilliant. You know, we hit the post 3 times. We hit the bar. You know, then we can see progress. But I hope that at 25 past 11 we're still on the show and we're celebrating with bottles of Iron Brew, of course.
Yeah. 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 I wonder what you were going to say there, by the way. Mine's is the Domino's, but anyway, we'll come to that. They want to sponsor the show, that'd be brilliant as well. Robbie, I was going to say to you as well, do you think that there's a feel-good factor at the moment in terms of everybody speaking about the national team? Although I think the only down part of it, I would say, is maybe this is for another show in another year, but like the coverage of the Scotland games hasn't been what you would think it would be better than it is. I mean, okay, the singing the Scotland commentary stream tonight for the BBC, but in terms of the panel, I think Alan Shearer's on the panel tonight and a few other ones as well. You know, but and I'm not having the go by the way, but STV did did not bother thinking any. You know, they sent Raman and Ronnie Charters from the news team, but they could get either the mega program.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a bit, I mean, at half time in each of the games, I think they've showed Gareth Southgate interviews in both of them. So, I mean, that just sort of shows you their coverage. I think there was a John McGinn interview last night in one of the games. But, the coverage's been far from perfect. Although I don't want to say much too negative, but I actually thought some of the panel that's been on the past few days has actually been really good. But again, I think, for Scotland's sake, we should be having more representatives and being talked about a bit more because, this is a night, especially tonight, that can be historic for us. So I'd like to see a bit more.
That question from Hashford about how do we think VAR's worked in Germany, I'm actually glad that was asked because I was going to say, I think it's been brilliant. I think it's worked far, far better, apart from the games that have been refereed by the English officials, which has been an absolute disaster. But apart from that, I think VAR has worked really well. I think it's been really quick. The automated offside has been really, really good. It's not taken 3 or 4 minutes. I generally think the officials, and I hope I'm still saying this after tonight, but I think the officials have been very good so far. Been really impressed.
Yeah, I don't know about you and Robbie Reagan, but I mean, I totally agree with Graham because if that was Scotland, you would have to wait half an hour for a decision. But on these games, it's like, Graham, it's like 3 seconds and the decision's made. It's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, Michael, it's been great. I mean, and I think as well, there's not any kind of controversial kind of 50-50 call. They've kind of not rushed into it. And that's what they tend to do in England, what they tend to do in Scotland. I quite enjoyed it, Graham, that a lot of the times they've no kind of went overboard and went to the screen too often either. They've only done it for things that are clear and obvious. That's the way it should be. It should be like that. And it felt like we were watching the Scottish Premiership last season. I don't know if you agree, but we were watching it and it felt like it was something from Toys R Us, where they were just, every time some kind of call was up, they were like straight over and making the call rather than letting the match actually flow.
This is what football's about, though. You want to be talking about the actual game, and there's been a lot of really good games in this tournament. You don't want to be talking about the officials. And we've, I can't think of any game that I've watched that has been all about officials. It's been running very, very smoothly. Hopefully that continues, and it's same again tonight. We're not talking about a dodgy decision, but I think it's been really good.
Apart from the English referee, the big call on Friday night.
Exactly.
He had a big call. He disallowed the Dutch goal on Friday against France.
I listened to the guys from Behind the Whistles podcast, and they said it was the right decision. I kind of disagree with that because I think if you look at it, the goalkeeper doesn't even dive. He's not getting it. I don't think that should be disallowed. I think that's a goal personally.
I go back to what I was saying, Graham, and obviously you watch the VR show back, obviously after we go off air after we go off air at 10 o'clock tonight, but we interviewed the guy from Behind the Whistle a few weeks ago, Graham, and
they were really good.
I was a breath of fresh air speaking to them as well, but I still go back to what I was saying, that I don't know if it would help our officials in Scotland if they were full time or not.
I don't think it would make any difference. I really don't think it would make any difference. And I put this on Twitter. Semi-automated offside, this has really worked. But see if they bring it to Scotland, we'd make a mess of it. We generally think we'd make an absolute mess of it. But here it's worked really well. I don't think it would matter if they were full time. I just think the officials here and in England are not good enough. I mean, the foreign referees, for me, the foreign officials have shown up the English ones. And again, we talked about it during the VAR show. Look at the fact there's not one Scottish official at this tournament. That says it all.
Robbie, I know we messed VAR up, right? But imagine if we put the chip on the ball, the Scottish refs will actually put the chip and the ball the wrong way round or the wrong way up, and it'll be just typical of them to do that. Anyway, we'll come back to that during the season, because I think we'll speak about that during the season. Graham's actually missing it. Speaking about VR,
I'm
Oh,
really,
yeah.
I'm really not.
yes.
We used to talk about it. Graham used to love it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're moving swiftly on now. So Reagan's been a busy guy. So he went along to interview Agam Kennedy, the journalist, about the game and Scotland campaign as a whole. So here's Robbie. Here's Reagan talking to Adam.
The big match this weekend. What are you thinking going into that match? Because, like you said, they've not looked the best in this group, and I think it's a match that Scotland will feel pretty sure of themselves that they can get the 3 points.
I think it's a match that Scotland can win. I do. I think I wasn't too impressed with them against Switzerland. I thought Switzerland were really good, and I thought that they'd then take care of us. It obviously didn't transpire that way. So we've given ourselves a chance. I think Dominic Szoboszlai, there was a lot of talk with regards to him being Hungary's main man. I don't really think he's shown his talent so far in this tournament. So I think if we can nullify that threat, then we've got a really good chance. The goalkeeper's decent, a couple solid defenders, but we've got good players, mate. I think if we can play to our full capability, we've beaten better teams to qualify for this tournament. So hopefully we can beat the weakest team in Group A at this tournament.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask you, Adam. In terms of the opposition, I don't think they've got, like, obviously they've got Szoboszlai, like you mentioned there, but I don't think they've got players that are world class, and I think that's something that we can take advantage of.
No, definitely. There's some that are playing at a decent level. Obviously, the goalkeeper and the centre half are both at Leipzig. I think they've got a couple that play in the Bundesliga. I've been really impressed with the boy Kerkez on the left, who's at Bournemouth. I didn't realise how young he was. I think he's only 20 years old, but I think his ceiling's pretty high. I think this is a game that we can win. But in saying that, I think it's a game that we'll enter with an air of caution. I'd love to see us just go gung-ho with absolutely nothing to lose. And then we can't really begrudge the team if they've given it absolutely everything, tried their damnedest, and failed to come away. Sometimes that's just football. But I think this is a game that Scotland can win.
See, I think that's a great way to look at it. That, like, I know the general Scotland approach is see ourselves into the match and try and be pragmatic, and some people would call it negative, but it's pragmatic. I think in terms of that, I think Sunday is a game that we need to win to qualify. I think 4 points will definitely get us through. But the way it's looking with the Albania group with Croatia in it, I think if you get even 3 points, I think that'll qualify. So I think it's a match that the two nations involved will be right up for.
Absolutely is. Yeah, they aren't totally out of it either. I am, of course, wary of that, but I just think we've shown that we can compete against a good Switzerland team. They're stacked with experience, players that have played at the highest level, whereas I don't think Hungary are quite at that level. And Switzerland dismantled Hungary, so we've got a chance. We have got a chance. I just hope that we don't enter it too conservatively. I really would like to see us, even if we take the lead, I don't want to be inviting pressure. I just think we just go all out for it.
Yeah, I don't want to be taking the lead early on and then sitting back inviting pressure. Because
exactly, because
that's going to be negative on the squad. as a whole. I feel that's what really made Switzerland want to get back in the match was as soon as we got that goal, we sat back.
Yeah, and ultimately, if we're inviting pressure, it's only a matter of time before good players punish us. They're no mugs. They're here for a reason. But do I believe that the Scotland squad is stronger than Hungary's? Yeah, I probably do.
Yeah. So Adam, I'm going to ask you for a prediction. Are you going to be positive and say a win, or what's your overall thoughts of this match?
No, I'm gonna be positive and say that we'll win. Yeah, well, why not? With regards to scoreline, I think it's going to be tight. Don't get me wrong. I can see a 1-0 or a 2-1, but any which way that we win, I don't care. I don't care if it's the greatest goal I've ever seen. I don't care if it's the scrappiest goal I've ever seen. Just as long as we can find a winning remedy and finally get out of a group stage so that we never have to hear this statistic ever again.
Okay, Adam, it's been great to chat to you. Thank you for joining me. It's been great to talk to you, mate.
My pleasure, Regan. Anytime, mate.
Cheers, Adam.
There we go. That was Reagan speaking to Adam Kennedy earlier on this week. I forgot to mention actually before we came on air some positive news before we get to the Scotland game tonight, Graham. Aaron Hansen is out of hospital and is still recovering. So a good Scotland win, I think, will set him up to have a speedy recovery.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic news. The last time I did the show, we did talk about the fact that he'd been admitted to hospital seriously ill, but thankfully it looks like he has recovered. He's back at home, so fantastic news to see Alan Hansen on the mend, and hopefully Scotland can just make that even better with a victory tonight, but great news.
Yeah, no, exactly. As you were saying on the interview, Reagan, about the Agam Kennedy's interview about the Scotland could go kind of gung ho. I don't know about you guys, but I think what I was saying earlier on to Robbie, I think it would have to maybe take the game in stages, just because it's like the last game as well,
Yeah, but I think also what Graham was saying earlier about taking chances earlier. I think we need to take chances that if it's still 0-0 with maybe 45 to go, I would bring on Child. I would bring on players to try and influence the game. Even James Forrest is someone that me and Graham spoke about before the tournament. We said hopefully James Forrest is in the squad. He's somebody that's had 1 minute on the park. And I think, what is the point of actually wanting these players to be in the squad, Graham, if they're not going to get the opportunity? And I think if Steve Clarke sticks to that 11 for the full 80 minutes, then I'm sorry, but you need to change it up. And I think for the last couple of games, like Robbie was saying earlier, people like Lewis Morgan and even Tommy Conway, who did well in the friendly. I mean, these guys must be sitting on the bench going, what else am I supposed to do? You brought me over here from England, you brought me over here from America. And if you're not going to play me, then it's one of those things where you need to be shown the responsibility. Well, I spoke to him about it, and he said that he doesn't think that Steve Clarke rates Shankland as well, because surely if you rated him properly, then you would utilise him properly and play him more often.
He doesn't play in Glasgow though, does he? It's not going to pick him.
I don't think it's about that, Graham. I just don't think he thinks he can offer the same as Lyndon Dykes does. I think Lyndon Dykes is his number one striker. Then I think it's Adams and then Lawrence Shankland.
I said this last week. Only in Scotland would you not pick a guy that scored 31 goals at club level. Nobody else would do that.
Well, Graham, though, I mean, Che Adams is a striker that can make a difference in games. I mean, we've seen that in qualifiers and stuff. So, I mean, I can see cases for both, but I think I agree with you, Graham. I mean, Adams hasn't shown enough in the last two games to, I think, warrant a start tonight. I mean, we we speak about Clark potentially picking his favourites, and I'm trying not to be too negative, but you've got to go with that clinicalness, and I think Shankland gives you that more than Adams does.
I know that Barry Anderson, who obviously we've had on the show before, I noticed that something he put on X earlier on, and he spoke about playing Shankland and Conway up front. Now, that would be brilliant, but I know he won't do it. He'll definitely, of course, if he's fit, because there was doubts about Che Adams apparently. We've not got the team news yet, but I do think he'll stick with Che Adams up top.
Yeah, and some of the comments here saying about, are you still able to qualify with 2 points? I said before that if Spain beat Albania tomorrow, and also if Turkey beat Czech Republic, and then if the Italians won on Wednesday, then Scotland would still qualify if they drew the match this evening.
I can see both of Robbie and Graham's points there about Lorne Shankland doesn't play for Celtic and Rangers. I kind of get that, because I think if he signed for Rangers at Christmas, it would have been on that playing weeks ago, Graham. But covering that on its head a wee bit, like Che Adams, Che Adams doesn't play for Celtic or Rangers, and he's still in that squad. And maybe you can argue the case that he's playing in England, and I hate to say England's a kind of step up in quality because that they've got the financial backing as well. But I mean, what Rig was saying there was if Steve Clark doesn't rate him, well, my answer to that would be, well, why did he pick him then if he doesn't rate him? It doesn't make sense to me.
He picked him because he knew that he would get negative press for it. But that's just my genuine opinion. I don't think he rates him, because surely if he rated him, then he would play him.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree, Graham.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Adams is a good player. Don't get me wrong. I think he's done really well, and I think he might get a move as well. I think Wolves were interested in him. I don't know if that deal's gone through, but he is a really good player. But I'm just looking at that Scotland team and thinking Scotland need goals, and you've got a natural goal scorer there. I don't think Adams and Dykes, they've got their strengths, no doubt about that at all. They've both got their strengths, but they're not clinical goal scorers like what Lawrence Shankland does, which is why I think in a game like tonight where we have to win, I don't think a draw's any good. We have to win. I just think to not play a guy that's got 31 goals, I just don't get it.
I don't disagree with Graham, but I feel like for what Che Adams offers, I think he's more of a stronger player to hold the ball in. I think what Clark's probably seen in the Switzerland game is that Switzerland are going to have a lot of the ball, and I don't know what type of team Hungary are going to be, but I think the only beneficiary I can see is that possibly sees that Southampton are more of a kind of sitting behind team, whereas you watch Hearts in Scotland, Graham, the majority of the matches they play, apart from Rangers and Celtic, they're on the ball and stuff like that, and that's not Scotland's forte, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
Here's a big question for all you guys for tonight, right? In terms of the team news, again, it's not come out yet. I'm still looking for it, but we went 3 at the back to accommodate Robertson and Tierney. Yep. Tierney's not there now. Do we go to a back 4 or do we keep the back 3?
Back 3.
Me personally, I would play a back 4. That is me personally. I would play Scott McKenna, Jack Henry, Ralston, and Robertson. That's what I would do. But I think Clark will play a back 3 because of the players are well equipped to the system at the moment.
Robbie, would you keep the back 3 or would you go a 4? I
agree with Reagan. If it was me, I would go to a back 4. But I think Clark will stick with the back 3 just because it's what he loves. It's, I don't think he really wants to change for the last game. I mean, I'd love not more than to see the back 4. I think it will work better when you're missing Tierney, but I just see Clark sticking with the back 3.
And I think that's a good point that Robbie makes as well, because I'm looking forward to seeing that Robertson actually being on his own, because a lot of the time we're talking about the fact that we need to fit these two in and play the back three and stuff. But now we may actually see more of Robertson being himself. We may actually see.
I actually thought you saw that on Wednesday. I thought Robertson was excellent against Switzerland.
Yeah.
I think, Graham.
That's the best game for a few Scotland games, Graham.
I think if we do go back and forth as well, boys, it gives us the opportunity to play more a wide player like a Ryan Christie or James Forrest, because you don't need to do the dilemma of a Tierney or an Andy Robertson to fit in the same team, because you've not got that dilemma there.
Can I go back in something that we were talking about, and we might talk about it after the game. Who knows? We might do Shankland as well. You know, I keep saying this to Graham on the show as well. We were way too, and forgive me, Graham. What was the team we were playing again? Cyprus. I can't remember the name. And Shankland came on with 2 minutes to go, and they scored the.
Georgia.
That was Georgia.
Georgia, yeah. One of these days I'll remember the team we were playing, because I've asked you about 3 or 4 times now, Graham, and it's not really going in, right? But my point at Robbie is he came on that game, right? He got us a win, right? And then the next game at Hampden, and I can't remember who we were playing at Hampden, right? And I was back to the bench. Now, surely Shankland would be saying, hold on a minute here. I helped the team to get all 3 points in that game. And then the next game on the Wednesday night at Hampden, I was on the bench. So he must be saying, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can make a case with a couple of players saying that. I mean, players come on and make a difference. For Tommy Conway in the last friendly game we played, came on, and I know he missed a header right at the end to win the game, but I actually thought he looked really up for it and really eager to get on and play. So, I mean, for these type of players sitting on the bench, your Forrest, Morgan, Conway, Shankland, they've got to be looking at this team and going, if we can get minutes on the park here, I think we can really make a difference. And I love to see them type of players make the difference.
And I'm not looking to scapegoat, right? But I think somebody needs to help Ralston as well, because I think you see in the Switzerland game, Michael, and Graham and Robert, you see in the Switzerland game, and I felt like Switzerland, I can't remember the white player, Michael, but you could see him he was really targeting Ralston. He really knew that he was a weak point, and that's something that the players need to identify on the park. They need to go, right, if the white player of the opposition is targeting Ralston, then we need to get 2 or 3 players to help him.
That's actually a good point, because if you actually listen to Adam Kennedy's interview there, he picked out Kerkez at Hungary. He'll be playing on Ralston's side, so he is going to probably have to double up on him, because he is a really good player.
Yeah,
so again, Ralston is going to need some help out there.
Yeah, I was listening to Steve McGinnell, and he said that, like, I'm sure Tony Ralston's under no illusion that he's the third or fourth choice right back in Scotland, but he did very well. I thought in Wednesday when the second 45 especially, because a lot of players, Graham, would have crumbled under that pressure after letting that chance go when Shaqiri scored that absolute beautiful goal that he scored.
Yeah, and I think I said that on Wednesday as well. Like, I think if that falls to anybody else but Shaqiri, we get off with that. But it's the fact that Shaqiri, it's on his favoured left foot. I think if that falls to anybody else, we get away with that. But at this level, if you make a mistake like that, as we've been shown numerous times, we can't seem to have that thing where it falls to somebody else and it's not a goal. We always get that bit of unlucky that it falls to the right player for them and the wrong player for us. And it was a great finish. Take nothing away, it's a brilliant finish. But I mean, that's again, it's a question that's been debated tonight. Should Ralston start? Should he not? I think he will, though. I don't see Steve Clark dropping him.
Greg, what's your comments here about Hasley Scumber said about give Shankland and Combe? It would be good to give Shankland and Combe. We a good idea to give them the last 10 or 15 minutes if we are struggling. See, I don't know about you, Glenn, but I disagree with that comment. I think if you were struggling, you would run them on with half an hour to go.
Yeah, like I said, if we are like 1-1, 20-25 minutes to go, then I think you've got to start making changes. I think on Wednesday, when we bring on Shankland late on and we bring on Christie late on, I think it basically is saying we're settling for a point. We can't do that tonight. We have to win the game. So, yeah, I'd be looking to bring them on a lot earlier if we're not winning. I would love, listen, this is never going to happen because it's Scotland. I would love us to be 3-0 up with half an hour to go and be cruising it. But Scotland never do things like that. So that probably won't happen.
No, exactly. Well, I mean, what's your take on that, Reagan and Robbie, about Shankland and Conway?
Yeah, I think that would be a great thing. I think we need more pace. 'Cause I don't know if you and Robbie and Graham agree, but I think we're being too predictable to play against. So, lads, are we planning to stay on it until the team news is here?
Yeah, do what we did last time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the team that we picked tonight could be very important. Because, like I said earlier, if we sit back and we dwell up and we do what we did against Germany, this could be a long night. But if we actually go for it, then we could be on here at 11 o'clock, still being very happy and being
And Monday morning.
through to the last 16. Yeah, I think they'll need to extend the Independence Live login and get us on until Monday morning, a 24-hour broadcast. But
I mean,
Robbie,
so I think I agree that, you know, Conway and Shankland could be a really deadly front two. I just don't see Clark going for the front two. It's not what he likes to do. But, you know, get one of them on with 25, 30 minutes to go in the game, and they can make a difference. We know that. One player, Scotland specifically, need to go on the ball tonight is Billy Gilmore. He is such a creative mindset in the middle of the park. We need to utilise him, and putting McTominay on Soboslai like McTominay was on Xhaka against Switzerland, that could be so crucial as well if we can get that right.
I think that's a great point, Robbie, because you look at somebody like Billy, who was missing on Friday night, but I think you've seen the difference that he made when he came on, and that just shows you that Steve Clark obviously looks back at that and goes, I probably made a mistake, no playing Billy on Friday, but then he's rectified it, and like you said there, I thought McTominay was good, but like somebody said there as well, Sloboslai, he's probably the danger man that we need to keep quiet. But yeah, I think that I was looking at the stats as well, and I think it's see the last time we played the opposition tonight, we won the game by 1-0. So I feel like hopefully that's fresh in the players' mind as well, and hopefully that we can take proper confidence.
okay, so we've got a few minutes left on the show, and we've got all the important team news. I would love to say joining us live from Germany, it's Graham, but joining us live from Pennacook, it's Graham.
Yeah, so as expected, not really many changes. So it's Angus Gunn in goal. It is the back three of Jack Hendry, Grant Hanley, and Scott McKenna comes in for Kieran Tierney. On the right, Anthony Ralston keeps his place. On the left, Andy Robertson with Billy Gilmore and Callum McGregor on the centre midfield. And then Scott McTominay and John McGinn are supporting the lone striker of Che Adams. So that is your Scotland team tonight.
Robbie, what's your reaction to that team before we get to the Shankling meltdown from Graham?
To be honest, I think we spoke about it. I'm not surprised they stuck with the same team. I don't think anyone was definitely considering that he was going to make changes. I think it was pretty obvious that he would stick with the same team. What I will say is, if we're at half time and it's 1-1 or 0-0, Steve Clark needs to make changes, especially if certain players are not playing well. I mean, Adams for me hasn't done enough in the last 2 games. He can show up, make a difference. We know he can. He's more than capable enough. But if certain players in this game aren't showing up, we do need to make changes, because there's not long left now, and we don't have any more games to qualify. So I think I'm happy enough with the team lineup. Again, get the ball into Billy Gilmore and get playing through the midfield, and I'm sure we can take the game to Hungary.
Well, Reagan, do you think that Armstrong will come into his feelings about coming on the park? Because I'm thinking about him, I'm thinking about Lewis Morgan, I'm thinking about James Forrest. I mean, we have got a strong bench, but we're not using it much.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of downside for me, the Euros. What's the point of having these 26 players in the squad and saying, well, he better get in, he better get in, but they're not going to be used. So I hope that we don't need to go to the bench, because that means we're 2-0 up with half an hour to go, as Graham's saying. I hope we're just bringing guys on just to waste a bit of time when we're 2-0 up with 4 minutes to go and just strolling back, wasting a bit of time, you know. But no, I think what you said there, we've got options there for Steve Clark to change it. We've also got options there that are really good at scoring. So I think people like James Forrest, Tommy Conway, Lewis Morgan, Shankland as well. Better mention Shankland before Graham on this show. But yeah, I mean, we've got players there that can score. So I don't have any fear for tonight. But what I do have a fear for is that we don't show up. But yeah, I just think that we've got the players, we've got a great opportunity, and come on, Scotland, because I'm really confident.
Grim, do you think as well that I know that we spoke about it weeks ago on the show to Ian Emerson from the Tartan Armour magazine. Do you think that the way that the games fell is in our favour in terms of get the hardest game out of the way first, Germany, because you wouldn't want to play Germany second or last, especially if you need to get all 3 points in the last game. That's the last team you want to come up against, Germany.
Yeah, I think it definitely did. You know, getting Germany out of the way was definitely the good thing. Hungary, like I said, are a good side, but I think they're a team that Scotland can definitely beat. We've got to take that Switzerland performance into tonight. I mean, I don't think I'll watch it now. There's no Shankland. I'm raging. Nah, I'm not. I mean, no, I'm joking. No Shankland, no party. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent lineup. It's what we expected. We just now have to go out there and give it everything. Like I said, don't have any regrets coming off that pitch after the game. You've got to go there, give it everything, and hope that we can get through. Like I said, I'm genuinely confident we're going to get through a great history. I really hope I'm not wrong in a couple of hours' time, but I think we're going to get through.
I just hope Scotland are feeling very hungry tonight, guys. I really do, man. I feel.
Got a couple minutes left on the show. Time to get off your fence, Graham. If you've got a fence, I've got a wall. I've not got a fence. I'm not as fortunate as you, Graham. So give us your score predictions, guys, and I'll start with the Shankland fan club for one, Mr. Duffy.
I'm going to go Scotland 2, Hungary 1 tonight.
And I will go to Robbie next.
I'm going to go Scotland 2, Hungary 0.
And Reagan?
Yeah, I'll go 2-0 as well. I'll be positive. You know, I think we've got the players, we've got the bench. Come on, Scotland, come on.
Actually, I'll just quickly give you the subs as well. So it's Liam Kelly, Xander Clark, Lawrence Shankland, Ryan Christie, Liam Cooper, Stuart Armstrong, Lewis Morgan, Tommy Conway, Ryan Jack, Ross McCrory, Kenny McLean, Greg Taylor, and James Forrest.
Robbie, I was actually thinking that we get nobody funny if Shankland never makes the bench. You'd be wanting to see
Don't say face. That when I'm on here.
I actually don't agree with watch the game if Shankland was on the bench.
So I was going to say 3-1, but I suppose I'll just go for 2-0 tonight because Scotland don't score a lot of goals in the games. But anyway, they need to score some tonight. Anyway, I'm away to get my kilt on and all that, and Graham is going to make haggis and meats and whatever the half out there. And Robbie's got to get a can of iron blue, and Reagan's got to sit in that fence again. And we'll be back at 10 o'clock after the game in Scotland. Not when, but if we get there, because I don't want to tempt fate. But come on, Scotland, we'll be
Come
here
on, Scotland.
at 10 o'clock.
Come
Thanks
on,
for watching.
Scotland.
Come on, Scotland.
The Locker Room.